tried other diets. I've done like the Dukan diet, which is pretty restrictive. I've done like the Whole30. I've done keto, tried to do keto by myself. And it didn't yield the same results as protein, so it definitely works, that's for sure. And for me, it's really easy to follow. The 10 pounds I lost initially on kind of phase 1, which was probably, I can't remember now, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I think it took me 4 months on this calorie counting one. So I looked into it initially, and then I wasn't sure about the products and how that works. I was worried that it'd be like astronaut food and it wouldn't taste so good because it has to, I'm a bit of a foodie, so food has to taste really good. Mm-hmm. But because I had multiple coworkers beyond this plan prior to me, and they still continue to show, they're all off it now, but they still look amazing. Like they've been able to sustain the weight loss after all this time. So because of their success, it inspired me to give it a go. So that's why I decided to commit to it. And I love it. It really works. And now my husband's on it. And eventually I'll get my mom on it. I mean, through the process I learned there's an absolute science behind it, and it makes sense. And it definitely works. If you stick to the T, you have to follow your coach's advice. But I didn't have any cravings. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. It was visually apparent that I had shed some weight. My energy levels were really high. It regulated, and probably TMI, but it regulated, your bowel movements and everything. My clothes fit better, so which is nice. I think that's one of my primary goals. I don't need to change my size. I just want to feel better in the clothes that I have. So that's a huge change. It's kind of nice. Not having like the typical muffin top when I throw my jeans on, sort of thing. So that's kind of a nice change. Benefit our family because I do all the cooking generally. So everyone essentially cooks or eats what I cook. So it's benefited them from a nutritional standpoint. Because through this diet, I wanted to look at different ways that I can make the food and incorporate the ideal protein products in recipes. And so I'm on a bit of a momentum with trying to cook with different foods that I don't normally do, and try, but in a healthy way for my kids too. So I think having the weekly check-ins is very, I think that was critical because it held me accountable. And then every time, like just understanding the science around things and maybe why I went up, or sometimes it stalled, which is normal. Just kind of understanding what's happening. But that booklet was very helpful. I actually used it to the T, to not just to log my food. I more so used it to plan ahead on what it is that I'm gonna eat that week. So I always pre-planned all 3 meals, like what I'm gonna, even what products I'm gonna incorporate a week in advance, and that also then informed my grocery list and then what I need to do on the Sunday. So first and foremost, I think you have to want to do it. So you have to do it for yourself and think of it as this is an investment in like self-care. So number one, your mindset needs to be there. You need to be prepared for it in that way. And secondly, follow your coach's advice, because I did 100%, or I do. And it's certainly seen the results faster than I would have thought. But definitely be creative, research on Pinterest. There's so many great recipes out there, so that's what I did. I think when I have a coach, I'm less likely to take those little bites along the way. So I think it certainly it helps with the accountability aspect. I'm grateful. I think that you guys have been very supportive and very encouraging, but very insightful. So I've learned a lot from you, and so I'm appreciative of that, because that's knowledge that I tell other people, especially my coworkers that have they're giving it a go. Once again, I'm still going to pop in and do curbside pickup on whatever favorite products I have. Rachel's been accessible always, so I'll send a random question at God knows what time, and she's always very responsive. There definitely is a difference. It does vary from coach to coach.